Welcome to Sleeping Researcher, where science narration meets tranquility to gently guide you into restful sleep. Here, we explore the wonders of the natural world through slow, soothing stories designed to calm your mind and soothe your spirit. Well, it's been 2 weeks since we started on this journey, and I can't believe that people are slowly hearing my narrations. I can't thank you listeners enough for giving my narrations a chance. It means a lot to me. Before we begin our journey, if you find comfort in the quiet unfolding of knowledge, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating peaceful, scientific narratives just for you. Tonight, we embark on a timeless voyage, one that stretches back billions of years to the very origins of life itself. How did life begin on our planet? What mysterious processes sparked the first living cells from a world of simple molecules? These questions have fascinated curious minds for centuries. From the gentle stirrings of early chemistry in ancient oceans, to the gradual unfolding of evolution's grand tapestry, our story reveals the delicate dance between chance and natural laws. It is a tale of incredible patience and subtle transformation, where tiny changes over eons have given rise to the vast diversity of life we see today. As you listen, allow your thoughts to drift softly with the rhythm of this story, finding peace in the slow unfolding of life's beginnings and the endless wonder of evolution. Let your mind relax and your body ease as we discover together the quiet beauty of our shared origins. Now, let us begin. In the vast tapestry of the cosmos, the story of life on Earth unfolds like an ancient and intricate melody. From the tiniest molecules to the sprawling diversity of creatures that inhabit our planet today, the journey of life is a narrative woven through time and space. Understanding evolution and the origin of life invites us to explore the profound processes that have shaped not only the living world around us, but also our own place within it. This exploration touches on some of the most fundamental questions humanity has ever asked. Where did we come from? How did life arise from the inanimate? And what connects us to every living being that has ever existed? By delving into these questions with patience and curiosity, we begin to appreciate the delicate interplay of chemistry, biology, and time that has given rise to the rich tapestry of life. Life, as we know it, emerged against a backdrop of dynamic planetary changes billions of years ago. The Earth itself was a young, restless sphere, its surface shaped by volcanic eruptions, ocean formation, and atmospheric shifts. Within this primordial environment, simple chemical compounds gradually combined to form more complex molecules, setting the stage for the first living systems. The transition from chemistry to biology marks a pivotal chapter in Earth's history, a transformation from non-living matter to entities capable of growth, reproduction, and adaptation. This process, often described as abiogenesis, remains a subject of ongoing scientific inquiry, inviting us to consider how conditions on early Earth fostered the emergence of self-sustaining life. Exploring this transition deepens our understanding of life's fragile beginnings and the extraordinary circumstances that made our existence possible. Once life had taken root, the process of evolution began to guide its unfolding. Evolution, in its essence, is the gradual change in the characteristics of populations over generations, driven by mechanisms such as natural selection, genetic drift, and mutation. Through countless cycles of variation and adaptation, life diversified from simple organisms into the vast array of species we observe today. This continuous process is not merely a historical event, but an ongoing phenomenon, shaping the living world around us in subtle and profound ways. Recognizing evolution as a natural process allows us to see the interconnectedness of all life forms, revealing a shared heritage that binds us to the earliest organisms on Earth. This perspective invites reflection on the delicate balance and resilience of life, as well as the ever-changing nature of existence itself. Understanding evolution and the origin of life also illuminates the remarkable adaptability of life on our planet. From the depths of the oceans to the highest mountain peaks, organisms have evolved diverse strategies to survive and thrive in an astonishing array of environments. This adaptability highlights the creative power of evolutionary processes, which have sculpted life's forms and functions over eons. As we gain insight into these processes, we also come to appreciate the intricate relationships between species, ecosystems, and the environment. Such understanding fosters a sense of stewardship and responsibility toward the natural world, reminding us that our existence is part of a larger, interconnected system. With this foundation, we prepare to explore more deeply the mechanisms and milestones that have driven life's remarkable journey. Evolution, at its core, is the gradual process through which life on Earth changes and diversifies over time. It is not a sudden event, but rather a continuous unfolding, shaped by countless small variations passed from one generation to the next. These variations arise naturally, often through random changes in genetic material, which may affect an organism's traits in subtle or significant ways. When these traits influence an organism's ability to survive and reproduce in its environment, certain variations become more common, while others fade away. This process, known as natural selection, gently guides the course of evolution, favoring adaptations that enhance an organism's chances of thriving. Over immense spans of time, this slow and steady mechanism has led to the incredible complexity and diversity of life forms we observe today. From microscopic bacteria to towering trees and complex mammals. Each species, then, is a living record of evolutionary history, shaped by its unique challenges and opportunities in the ever-changing tapestry of nature. The concept of evolution extends beyond the survival of individuals to encompass the branching patterns of life itself. As populations of organisms adapt to their environments, they may diverge into new species, each occupying different ecological niches. This branching, or speciation, creates a vast and interconnected tree of life where all living things share common ancestors if traced far enough back in time. Fossil evidence and modern genetic studies have illuminated this web of connections, revealing how diverse organisms are related and how they have transformed through countless generations. Through this lens, evolution is not merely a mechanism of change, but a creative force, crafting novel forms and functions that allow life to explore an extraordinary range of possibilities. It reminds us that the living world is dynamic, always in flux, responding to shifting climates, landscapes, and interactions among species. Understanding evolution also invites reflection on the delicate balance between chance and necessity. While random genetic mutations introduce variability, natural selection acts as a guiding principle, favoring traits that improve survival and reproduction within specific environments. At times, evolutionary changes may be gradual and incremental, while in other moments, environmental shifts or genetic events can lead to more rapid transformations. This interplay between randomness and directionality weaves the fabric of biological history, resulting in the adaptive complexity observed in ecosystems worldwide. Such a dynamic process underscores the resilience and flexibility of life, highlighting how species can adjust to new challenges, recover from setbacks, and, at times, give rise to entirely new forms. Moreover, evolution is deeply intertwined with the origin of life itself. The earliest life forms, likely simple and single-celled, set the stage for billions of years of evolutionary experimentation. Through processes of mutation, selection, and replication, these primitive organisms gradually evolved into the vast array of life that populates our planet today. This long evolutionary journey reflects both the persistence of life and its capacity for innovation, as new metabolic pathways, physical structures, and behaviors emerged to meet the demands of changing environments. By appreciating evolution as the engine behind biological diversity and adaptation, we gain insight into the profound continuity that links all living beings, from the smallest microorganisms to ourselves. As we continue to explore the mechanisms and milestones of evolution, we begin to see how this process is not only a scientific concept, but also a profound narrative of life's resilience and creativity. Each adaptation and divergence tells a story of survival, interaction, and transformation that has unfolded over eons. This understanding deepens our connection to the natural world and invites us to consider our place within this ongoing evolutionary saga. With these reflections in mind, we are ready to delve further into the specific processes and pivotal events that have shaped the history of life on Earth. Long before the age of modern science, humans sought to understand the mysterious beginnings of life. Ancient civilizations, observing the natural world with curiosity and reverence, proposed ideas that, while lacking empirical evidence, reflected deep philosophical inquiry. One of the earliest and most enduring beliefs was the concept of spontaneous generation, the notion that living organisms could arise suddenly and naturally from non-living matter. For example, it was commonly thought that maggots emerged directly from decaying meat, or that frogs appeared from muddy ponds. These ideas were not born from ignorance alone, but from careful observation and the attempt to explain phenomena without the tools of microscopic analysis or controlled experimentation. Over centuries, such beliefs shaped cultural narratives surrounding life and death, growth and decay, embedding themselves firmly into the collective understanding of nature. These early theories, though ultimately disproven, were foundational. They sparked questions and debates that would eventually lead to more rigorous scientific methods and a deeper exploration of life's origin. The journey from mystical explanations to scientific inquiry was gradual and marked by influential thinkers who challenged established norms. In the 17th century, with the advent of the microscope, pioneers like Francesco Redi began to question spontaneous generation through careful experimentation. Redi demonstrated that maggots on meat came from flies laying eggs, not from the meat itself, introducing the concept of biogenesis, life arising from pre-existing life. Later, in the 19th century, Louis Pasteur's meticulous experiments further dismantled spontaneous generation, showing that microorganisms did not appear from sterile broth without contamination. These pivotal moments shifted the perspective from speculative philosophy to empirical science, emphasizing observation, experimentation, and reproducibility. This transition laid the groundwork for a new understanding of how life might have originated in Earth's distant past, moving beyond simple, immediate origins to the deeper question of life's very beginnings. As scientific tools and knowledge expanded, the focus turned toward the early Earth itself, a planet vastly different from the one we inhabit today. Scientists began to imagine a primordial environment where the first molecules of life could have formed from simpler chemical components. This idea culminated in the concept of the primordial soup, a term popularized in the early 20th century. It suggests that Earth's ancient oceans were rich with organic molecules, energized by sources such as lightning, volcanic activity, and ultraviolet radiation, facilitating the chemical reactions necessary for life's emergence. Experiments such as the famous Miller-Urey experiment in the 1950s simulated these conditions and produced amino acids, the building blocks of proteins. This marked a significant step in understanding abiogenesis, the process by which life arises naturally from non-living matter, bridging the gap between chemistry and biology. While many questions remain, these insights demonstrate how early theories, once rooted in observation and speculation, evolved into testable scientific hypotheses that continue to inspire research today. The exploration of life's origin is as much a philosophical journey as a scientific one, intertwining curiosity, imagination, and rigorous inquiry. Ancient ideas, though superseded by modern science, provided the fertile soil from which contemporary understanding grew. Each theory, experiment, and discovery reflects humanity's persistent desire to unravel the mysteries of existence. The shift from spontaneous generation to the study of prebiotic chemistry illustrates the profound evolution of thought, where myth and observation gave way to hypothesis and evidence. This progression highlights the cumulative nature of scientific knowledge, where even incorrect ideas serve as stepping stones toward deeper truths. As we continue to investigate the origins of life, we honor the legacy of those early thinkers while embracing the tools and insights of modern science. With this foundation laid, we are poised to delve deeper into the intricate processes that have guided life's evolution, from simple molecules to the vast diversity of organisms we observe today. Understanding the origin of life not only enriches our appreciation of biology, but also connects us to the profound narrative of change and continuity that defines the living world. Let us now turn our attention to the molecular and genetic mechanisms that have driven evolution's remarkable journey across time and space. To explore the origins of life, scientists have long pondered the conditions of early Earth, a planet vastly different from the one we inhabit today. Billions of years ago, the atmosphere was a dynamic mixture of gases such as methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water vapor, forming a rich chemical environment. It is within this ancient, nutrient-laden setting that the primordial soup hypothesis finds its roots. This idea suggests that life began in the oceans, where simple molecules dissolved and interacted under the influence of external energy sources like lightning, ultraviolet radiation, or volcanic activity. These interactions could have sparked a series of chemical reactions, gradually assembling increasingly complex organic compounds. This nutrient-rich soup became the cradle for the first building blocks of life, setting the stage for the emergence of molecules capable of storing information and catalyzing reactions, the early ancestors of the DNA and enzymes that underpin cellular life today. The notion of the primordial soup is more than just a poetic metaphor. It represents a scientifically testable framework. In the mid-20th century, landmark experiments demonstrated that organic molecules, such as amino acids, the essential components of proteins, could be synthesized under conditions mimicking the early Earth. By recreating the atmospheric conditions and supplying energy like electric sparks to simulate lightning, researchers observed the spontaneous formation of these fundamental molecules. Such findings provide compelling evidence that the chemical precursors to life could have formed naturally, without the need for external seeding or supernatural intervention. These early organic molecules might have accumulated in shallow waters, where repeated cycles of wetting and drying, temperature fluctuations, and mineral surfaces could have further driven their assembly into more complex structures, including primitive polymers and membranes. From this primordial chemical milieu, the first protocells likely emerged, simple, membrane-bound structures capable of maintaining an internal environment distinct from their surroundings. These protocells may have encapsulated RNA or other informational molecules, marking a crucial step toward life as we understand it. The RNA world hypothesis, closely related to the primordial soup, proposes that RNA molecules served both as carriers of genetic information and as catalysts for chemical reactions. This dual function could have allowed early life forms to replicate and evolve, setting in motion the process that would eventually lead to the vast biodiversity present on Earth. The transition from chemistry to biology is a profound transformation, grounded in the gradual increase of molecular complexity and the establishment of self-replicating systems within these early protocells. As these early life forms proliferated and adapted, they began to harness energy more efficiently, develop metabolic pathways, and diversify through natural selection. The primordial soup hypothesis invites us to imagine a world where life's chemical beginnings unfolded slowly over millions of years, guided by the interplay of environmental conditions and molecular chance. Each step in this journey, from simple molecules to self-sustaining protocells, reflects the inherent creativity of natural processes, shaping the tapestry of life from the most humble origins. With this understanding in place, we can now explore the genetic and evolutionary mechanisms that have driven life's complexity ever onward, weaving the intricate patterns of adaptation and diversity we witness today. In the early 1950s, a groundbreaking experiment conducted by Stanley Miller and Harold Urey sought to recreate the conditions of Earth's primordial atmosphere within a laboratory setting. Their goal was to test the hypothesis that the basic building blocks of life could arise spontaneously from simple chemical compounds under the influence of environmental energy sources such as lightning. By circulating a mixture of gases, methane, ammonia, hydrogen, and water vapor, through a closed system and exposing it to continuous electrical sparks, Miller and Urey simulated the natural energy inputs thought to be present on early Earth. Over the course of just a week, the experiment yielded a remarkable discovery. A variety of organic molecules, including amino acids, had formed within the apparatus. These amino acids are fundamental components of proteins, which play critical roles in biological structures and processes. This elegant experiment provided the first tangible evidence that life's molecular precursors could emerge from non-living chemistry, bridging an essential gap between the inorganic and the organic. The implications of the Miller-Urey experiment extend far beyond the laboratory. By demonstrating that organic molecules could form spontaneously under conditions thought to resemble those of the early Earth's atmosphere, it lent strong support to the idea that life's origins were grounded in natural chemical processes, rather than requiring supernatural intervention. This revelation sparked a new era of research, inspiring scientists to explore the complex pathways through which simple molecules might assemble into more intricate structures, such as nucleotides and lipids. These molecules, in turn, are essential for the formation of RNA, DNA, and cell membranes, key components of living cells. The experiment illuminated a plausible scenario in which the chemistry of early Earth provided a fertile environment for the gradual emergence of life's molecular machinery. Moreover, it underscored the importance of environmental factors such as energy sources and atmospheric composition in shaping the trajectory of chemical evolution. While subsequent research has refined our understanding of Earth's early atmosphere and the precise conditions that favored organic synthesis, the Miller-Urey experiment remains a foundational milestone in the study of abiogenesis, the origin of life from non-living matter. Scientists have since explored alternative energy sources, such as ultraviolet radiation and hydrothermal vents, and have considered different atmospheric compositions, including those rich in carbon dioxide and nitrogen, These investigations continue to reveal the diverse pathways through which life's precursors might have formed in a variety of environments. Yet, the core message of Miller and Urey's work endures. Life's chemical foundation is accessible through natural processes, unfolding spontaneously in the right conditions. This insight not only deepens our appreciation of Earth's unique history, but also informs the search for life on other planets, where similar chemical dynamics might be at play. As we reflect on the Miller-Urey experiment and its profound contributions, it becomes clear that the boundary between chemistry and biology is more fluid than once imagined. From the spontaneous formation of organic molecules to the eventual assembly of self-replicating systems, the journey towards life is marked by a continuum of increasingly complex interactions. These early steps set the stage for the genetic mechanisms that would later govern heredity, variation, and adaptation, processes that continue to sculpt the diversity of life on Earth. By tracing the origins of life through such experiments and theoretical models, we gain insight into the remarkable processes that transformed a lifeless planet into a vibrant biosphere. In the quest to understand the origin of life, one of the most compelling ideas proposed is the RNA world hypothesis. This concept suggests that before the complex proteins and DNA we observe today, life may have begun with RNA molecules serving dual roles. Unlike DNA, which primarily stores genetic information, RNA has the unique ability to both carry genetic code and catalyze chemical reactions. This dual functionality positions RNA as a plausible candidate for the first self-replicating molecule, a foundational step toward life. In a prebiotic environment, simple RNA strands could have formed spontaneously from nucleotides, which themselves might have been synthesized through processes similar to those explored by the Miller-Urey experiment. These early RNA molecules, capable of folding into specific shapes, could act as ribozymes, enzymes made of RNA, facilitating their own replication and the synthesis of other biomolecules. This remarkable property bridges the gap between the chemistry of the early Earth and the biology that would emerge millions of years later. The versatility of RNA is central to why it is considered a likely candidate in early life's development. In modern cells, RNA plays crucial roles ranging from transmitting genetic information to participating in protein synthesis. Its ability to form complex three-dimensional structures allows it to bind to other molecules and catalyze reactions, functions that are typically reserved for proteins. This suggests that ancient RNA molecules could have acted as both genetic material and catalysts, making them self-sufficient in a way that neither DNA nor proteins alone could achieve at life's inception. In this context, the RNA world hypothesis posits a simpler, more elegant origin for life, where RNA's inherent properties enabled it to replicate and evolve before more elaborate biochemical systems evolved. The transition from an RNA-based system to one dominated by DNA and proteins represents a significant evolutionary milestone, but it likely began with RNA as the first self-replicator. Experimental evidence lends support to the plausibility of the RNA world. Scientists have demonstrated that RNA molecules can indeed catalyze their own synthesis under certain laboratory conditions, hinting at the feasibility of self-replication in early Earth environments. Additionally, the discovery of ribozymes, RNA molecules with enzymatic functions, in modern organisms suggests a lingering legacy from this ancient RNA world. These ribozymes perform essential tasks such as splicing RNA transcripts and assisting in protein synthesis, indicating that RNA's catalytic capabilities have been preserved through billions of years of evolution. Such findings deepen our appreciation for RNA's versatility and hint at the molecular innovations that set the stage for life's complexity. Through this lens, RNA is not just a molecule, but a window into the earliest chapters of biological history. The RNA world hypothesis also elegantly addresses the chicken and egg problem of molecular biology. Proteins are required to catalyze the replication of nucleic acids. Yet, nucleic acids are needed to encode the information for protein synthesis. RNA's ability to fulfill both roles offers a solution to this apparent paradox. By enabling both information storage and enzymatic function, RNA could have initiated a self-sustaining cycle of replication and evolution. This primordial system would gradually give rise to the more specialized and stable molecules, DNA for long-term information storage, and proteins for diverse catalytic functions that dominate life today. Such a progression underscores the dynamic and adaptive nature of molecular evolution, illustrating how life's earliest building blocks may have emerged from simple chemical beginnings. As we consider the significance of RNA in life's origin, it is important to recognize how this hypothesis guides ongoing research. Scientists continue to explore the chemical pathways that could have led to RNA synthesis under early Earth conditions, seeking to unravel the environmental and molecular circumstances that favored the emergence of self-replicating RNA. These investigations expand our understanding of the delicate balance between chance and necessity in life's beginnings. By studying RNA and its properties, we not only glimpse the molecular past, but also gain insights into the fundamental principles that govern biological complexity. This exploration naturally leads us to examine how genetic mechanisms evolved further, setting the stage for the intricate web of heredity and adaptation that defines life today. Building upon the remarkable properties of RNA, we begin to glimpse a world where simple molecules gradually organized into more complex structures. In the primordial environment of early Earth, a rich chemical soup provided the raw materials necessary for life's inception. Organic compounds such as amino acids and nucleotides formed through various natural processes, including volcanic activity, lightning, and ultraviolet radiation. These small molecules did not remain isolated. Instead, they interacted and combined in ways that paved the path toward greater complexity. Over time, these interactions led to the spontaneous formation of larger macromolecules, which could store information and catalyze chemical reactions. This gradual accumulation of complexity set the stage for the emergence of protocells. primitive entities that embodied some of life's defining characteristics. Protocells represent a crucial step in the transition from chemistry to biology. These early structures consisted of lipid molecules that naturally assembled into spherical membranes, creating enclosed environments distinct from the surrounding medium. Within these compartments, molecules like RNA and proteins could concentrate and interact more efficiently, fostering the chemical reactions essential for primitive metabolism and replication. The formation of a membrane not only provided physical protection, but also allowed protocells to maintain an internal environment, a fundamental trait of living cells. Though these protocells were far simpler than modern cells, their ability to encapsulate and organize biochemical processes marked a profound leap toward life as we know it. This compartmentalization facilitated evolutionary processes, enabling natural selection to act on enclosed molecular systems and favor those that were more stable or efficient. As protocells became more sophisticated, they developed mechanisms to reproduce and pass on genetic information. The interplay between nucleic acids and proteins within these structures gradually led to the establishment of rudimentary metabolic pathways, allowing protocells to harness energy from their environment and sustain themselves. Through countless cycles of growth and division, these primitive life forms adapted to changing conditions, setting in motion the evolutionary processes that would eventually give rise to the diversity of life observed today. This slow, incremental evolution underscores the delicate balance between random molecular interactions and the guiding influence of natural selection. In this delicate dance, the emergence of cellular life appears not as a sudden event, but as a continuum of gradual innovations accumulating over vast spans of time. The origin of cellular life thus embodies the convergence of chemistry and biology, where molecules gain the capacity to self-organize, replicate, and evolve within protective boundaries. These first cells were likely simple, lacking the complexity of modern organisms, yet they carried the essential features that define life: a genetic code, metabolic activity, and the ability to adapt. As research continues, scientists explore how these early cells diversified, acquiring new functions and structures that allowed them to colonize a variety of environments. Understanding the emergence of protocells not only illuminates life's beginnings on Earth, but also informs the search for life beyond our planet, suggesting that similar processes might unfold wherever conditions permit. This contemplation invites us to delve deeper into the evolutionary journey that transformed simple molecules into the rich tapestry of life, guiding us toward the next chapter in the story of heredity and adaptation. While traditional hypotheses about the origin of life often focus on shallow, sunlit environments, such as tidal pools or warm ponds, an intriguing alternative suggests that life may have begun in the depths of the ocean, near hydrothermal vents. These vents, located along mid-ocean ridges where tectonic plates diverge, release mineral-rich, superheated water into the surrounding seawater. The unique chemistry and energy gradients found here create a dynamic environment that could support the synthesis of organic molecules essential for life. Unlike surface settings, hydrothermal vents provide a stable, protected habitat, shielded from harsh ultraviolet radiation and meteor impacts that characterized early Earth. This perspective invites us to imagine the cradle of life not as a sun-drenched puddle, but as a dark, mineral-laden underwater world, teeming with chemical possibilities. Within the labyrinth of porous rocks surrounding hydrothermal vents, steep gradients of temperature and chemical concentration foster conditions favorable for prebiotic chemistry. These gradients could have acted as natural reactors, concentrating organic compounds and facilitating the formation of complex molecules like amino acids, nucleotides, and lipids. The catalytic properties of minerals, such as iron sulfides, abundant in vent chimneys, may have further accelerated chemical reactions, aiding the assembly of protocellular structures. This environment, rich in energy and diverse in chemistry, offers a plausible setting where early life could harness chemical energy to drive metabolism before the advent of photosynthesis. By considering hydrothermal vents as a cradle for life, scientists broaden the scope of environments where life might emerge, emphasizing the power of Earth's deep biosphere in nurturing biological complexity. The hypothesis that life originated at hydrothermal vents also resonates with the metabolic strategies observed in some of Earth's most ancient organisms. Many modern extremophiles, such as thermophilic archaea and bacteria, thrive in these high-temperature, chemically rich habitats, utilizing sulfur and hydrogen compounds for energy. Their existence suggests that early life forms may have been chemolitho-autotrophs, organisms deriving energy from inorganic chemical reactions rather than sunlight. This metabolic pathway could represent an ancient legacy, tracing back to the very first cells that emerged in vent environments. By studying these microorganisms and their adaptations, researchers gain insights into how life could have sustained itself in the absence of solar energy, relying instead on Earth's internal heat and chemistry. Such findings inspire us to reconsider the diversity of life's beginnings and the resilience of biological systems in extreme conditions. Moreover, the hydrothermal vent hypothesis encourages interdisciplinary exploration, merging geology, chemistry, and biology to unravel the mysteries of life's inception. Advances in deep-sea exploration have revealed a variety of vent systems, each with distinct mineral compositions and fluid chemistries, offering numerous experimental settings to test theories about prebiotic synthesis and early metabolism. Laboratory simulations replicating vent conditions have demonstrated the spontaneous formation of organic molecules and even simple protocell-like structures, lending empirical support to this model. As scientific instruments and methodologies improve, the deep ocean's hidden landscapes become accessible windows into Earth's primordial past, allowing us to piece together how life might have sparked and evolved in these enigmatic undersea realms. This expanding frontier challenges us to think beyond conventional paradigms and embrace the complexity of Earth's interior as a nurturing ground for life's origin. In contemplating hydrothermal vents as potential sites for life's emergence, we open new avenues for understanding how life might arise elsewhere in the cosmos. Worlds such as Jupiter's moon Europa and Saturn's moon Enceladus possess subsurface oceans with evidence of hydrothermal activity, suggesting that similar processes could unfold far beyond our planet. This connection between Earth's deep-sea vents and extraterrestrial environments enriches our perspective on the universality of life's chemical foundations. As we continue to explore these possibilities, the story of life's origin expands from a singular terrestrial event to a more profound narrative woven into the fabric of the universe itself. This thought propels us forward, guiding our curiosity toward the next stages of evolutionary discovery. As we turn our gaze from the dynamic environments of hydrothermal vents to the ancient rock record, we begin to glimpse the earliest tangible traces of life on Earth. These traces take the form of microbial fossils, microscopic remnants preserved in sedimentary layers that date back billions of years. Among the oldest evidence are stromatolites, layered structures created by communities of cyanobacteria that thrived in shallow waters. These living architects captured sunlight and converted it into energy through photosynthesis, leaving behind distinctive patterns in the rock. Their presence is not merely a curiosity, but a profound connection to the deep past, anchoring life's emergence within a timeline that stretches back over 3.5 billion years. Such fossils offer a bridge between abstract chemical origins and the biological complexity that began to unfold, transforming Earth's atmosphere and setting the stage for future evolution. Fossilized microbial mats and microfossils provide further insights into the diversity and resilience of early life forms. These ancient microorganisms existed in a world vastly different from our own, where oxygen was scarce and the surface was bombarded by intense ultraviolet radiation. Despite these harsh conditions, life found a foothold, adapting to niches that would seem inhospitable today. Chemical signatures, such as isotopic ratios in ancient rocks, complement physical fossils by revealing metabolic processes like methane production and photosynthesis. Together, these lines of evidence compose a mosaic that narrates the story of life's persistence and innovation in the face of environmental challenges. As these microbial ecosystems flourished, they gradually altered their surroundings, contributing to the gradual oxygenation of the atmosphere, known as the Great Oxidation Event. This pivotal transformation reshaped Earth's habitability and paved the way for more complex organisms to emerge. The fossil record also challenges us with its gaps and mysteries, reminding us that much of early life's history remains hidden beneath layers of time and geological change. Microbial life, by its very nature, leaves subtle imprints that require careful interpretation under powerful microscopes and through sophisticated geochemical analyses. Advances in technology continue to refine our ability to detect and understand these ancient biosignatures, pushing the boundaries of what we know. Such discoveries not only enrich our understanding of Earth's own past, but also inform the search for life beyond our planet. By studying how life's earliest forms adapted to primeval Earth, we gain clues about the potential diversity and resilience of life elsewhere in the cosmos. The fossil evidence thus serves as both a historical record and a beacon guiding future exploration. In weaving together the narratives provided by rock formations, microfossils, and chemical traces, we begin to assemble a timeline that makes the distant past tangible and approachable. It is within this timeline that we find the first chapters of a story that continues to unfold today. The story of evolution. From single-celled ancestors inhabiting ancient seas, life has diversified through countless generations, gradually increasing in complexity and variety. Each fossil and each isotopic signature is a word in this vast chronicle, connecting us to the earliest forms of life and reminding us of the continuity that links all living beings. This continuum invites us to reflect on our place within the grand tapestry of life, as well as the processes that have shaped it over billions of years. At the heart of the evolutionary story lies a process that Charles Darwin famously described as natural selection. This mechanism, quietly operating over vast spans of time, explains how species adapt to their ever-changing environments. Natural selection begins with variation, subtle differences among individuals within a population. These differences arise through random genetic mutations and the reshuffling of genes during reproduction. Although many of these changes may be neutral or even disadvantageous, some provide a slight edge in survival or reproduction. Over generations, individuals carrying advantageous traits tend to leave more offspring, gradually shifting the composition of the population. This slow and steady sorting mechanism, driven by environmental pressures, is what shapes the diversity and complexity of life we observe today. Natural selection is not a force with intent or direction. Rather, it is an emergent property of living systems interacting with their surroundings. For example, a population of beetles may exhibit a range of shell colors. If a darker shell offers better camouflage in a particular habitat, those beetles may be less likely to be preyed upon and more likely to survive and reproduce. Over time, dark-colored beetles become more common, illustrating how environmental factors influence which traits persist. This intricate dance between organisms and their environment underlies the dynamic nature of ecosystems and the continual emergence of new forms of life. It is through this process that species continually adapt, sometimes leading to the formation of entirely new branches in the tree of life. The power of natural selection extends beyond survival alone. It also shapes reproductive success, guiding traits that influence mating behaviors, fertility, and offspring viability. traits that enhance an organism's ability to find a mate or care for young become increasingly common, weaving a complex pattern of biological and behavioral adaptations. This interplay between survival and reproduction ensures that evolution is a multifaceted process, responding to many subtle pressures simultaneously. Over millions of years, such pressures have transformed simple, single-celled organisms into the rich array of plants, animals, and microorganisms that inhabit the Earth today. Each adaptation is a testament to the subtle, patient work of natural selection, sculpting life's diversity with gradual precision. Understanding natural selection illuminates the continuity between all living beings, connecting us to the earliest ancestors that first emerged from the primordial oceans. It reveals that the traits we possess, our physical forms, behaviors, and even tendencies, are part of an unbroken lineage shaped by countless generations of adaptation. This perspective invites us to see ourselves not as separate or exceptional, but as participants in an ongoing evolutionary journey. In this light, the variety of life surrounding us reflects the cumulative effects of natural selection acting over deep time, a process both subtle and profound in its consequences. As we delve deeper into the mechanisms of evolution, we begin to glimpse the intricate connections between genetic change and the emergence of new species. Natural selection provides the framework for this understanding, yet it is one piece of a larger puzzle that includes genetic drift, gene flow, and mutation. Together, these forces shape the evolutionary landscape, guiding the origin of life's remarkable diversity. From this foundation, we will explore further the molecular and genetic underpinnings that drive evolutionary change, opening a window into life's continual transformation. At the heart of evolution lies the subtle yet profound process of genetic variation, the raw material upon which natural selection and other evolutionary forces act. Each organism carries within its cells a unique blueprint encoded in DNA, a complex molecule composed of sequences of nucleotides. These sequences are not fixed. They can change through a variety of mechanisms, introducing new genetic information into populations. Among these mechanisms, mutation stands out as a fundamental source of novelty. Mutations are random alterations in the DNA sequence that may arise spontaneously during DNA replication or be induced by environmental factors such as radiation or chemicals. While many mutations have little to no effect, some can alter the function of genes, potentially leading to new traits. This constant introduction of genetic variation ensures that populations are not genetically uniform, but instead harbor a rich tapestry of differences. Over generations, these differences accumulate, providing the material for evolutionary processes to sculpt the diversity of life we observe. On a molecular level, mutations come in many forms. Point mutations involve the substitution, insertion, or deletion of a single nucleotide, subtly changing the genetic code. Larger changes may include duplications or rearrangements of entire segments of DNA, sometimes resulting in significant shifts in gene function or regulation. These genetic changes are not directed or purposeful, but occur randomly, without regard for the organism's needs. Yet, through the lens of natural selection, some mutations confer advantages that improve an organism's ability to survive and reproduce in its environment. Beneficial mutations increase in frequency within populations, while harmful ones are often eliminated. Neutral mutations may persist, serving as a hidden reservoir of genetic diversity that can become relevant under changing conditions. This interplay between random mutation and selective forces exemplifies the dynamic nature of evolution, where chance and necessity converge. Importantly, genetic variation is not solely the product of mutation, but is also shaped by recombination during sexual reproduction. By shuffling genetic material from two parents, recombination creates new combinations of alleles, further enhancing diversity within populations. This genetic reshuffling, combined with ongoing mutations, ensures that each generation presents a novel genetic landscape. The molecular biology underlying these processes reveals how life's complexity stems from simple chemical changes in DNA. Understanding this connection bridges the microscopic world of molecules with the grand scale of evolutionary change. It illuminates how the vast diversity of species, from the tiniest microbes to the largest mammals, arises through gradual, cumulative modifications in genetic material. As we consider the role of genetic variation and mutation in evolution, it becomes clear that life is in a constant state of flux. Each mutation, each shuffled gene, represents a potential step toward adaptation and innovation. This continual process has unfolded over billions of years, shaping the tapestry of life and enabling organisms to respond to ever-changing environments. The molecular dance of DNA, with its delicate balance of stability and change, underpins the resilience and creativity of life itself. From this perspective, the origin of new species and the ongoing diversification of life are natural outcomes of the interplay between random genetic changes and the guiding hand of evolutionary forces. The process by which new species arise, known as speciation, reveals evolution in action, as populations gradually diverge over time. Speciation begins when groups within a single population become isolated from each other, whether by physical barriers such as mountains or rivers, or through behavioral and ecological differences that reduce interbreeding. This separation limits gene flow, allowing the genetic makeup of each group to change independently. Mutations, natural selection, and genetic drift act on these isolated populations, guiding their evolution along divergent paths. Over many generations, these genetic differences accumulate, leading to distinct physical traits, behaviors, and reproductive mechanisms. Eventually, these changes become significant enough that individuals from the diverging groups can no longer interbreed successfully, marking the emergence of separate species. This slow and steady process highlights how life's diversity is continuously crafted through the subtle reshaping of genetic material in response to environmental and internal pressures. Speciation is not always a straightforward journey. It can unfold through various modes depending on the circumstances of isolation and adaptation. One common form is allopatric speciation, where a physical barrier splits a population, leading each group to evolve independently. Another form, sympatric speciation, occurs without geographical separation, often through genetic changes that create reproductive barriers within the same environment. Despite their differences, these pathways share a common theme: the gradual buildup of genetic incompatibilities that prevent interbreeding. In this way, speciation acts as a natural experiment in evolution, demonstrating how populations respond uniquely to their surroundings and accumulate changes that transform them into new species. Each speciation event adds a new branch to the tree of life, illustrating evolution's power to generate complexity and diversity from simple beginnings. The biological consequences of speciation extend beyond just the formation of new species. They influence ecosystems and the evolutionary potential of life itself. As new species emerge, they fill different ecological niches, interacting with their environment and other organisms in novel ways. This diversification promotes resilience within ecosystems by creating a balance of roles and relationships, from predators and prey to pollinators and plants. Additionally, speciation fuels the adaptive potential of life, as the genetic differences between emerging species provide raw material for further evolution. Over millions of years, these processes have led to the astonishing variety of life forms we observe today, each a unique outcome of evolutionary forces acting across time and space. This ongoing dance between isolation, genetic change, and environmental interaction continues to shape the living world. The fossil record serves as a remarkable archive of life's history, capturing moments frozen in time that reveal the gradual transformations of organisms across millions of years. These preserved remains, often embedded in layers of sedimentary rock, provide tangible evidence of evolutionary change, illustrating how species have adapted and diversified through deep time. Fossils range from simple imprints of ancient microorganisms to the intricate skeletons of long-extinct creatures, each adding a piece to the complex puzzle of biological ancestry. By examining the sequence and characteristics of these fossils, scientists can trace the lineage of species and observe patterns of emergence, extinction, and change. The fossil record thus bridges the present with a distant past, offering a direct window into the evolutionary processes that have shaped the diversity of life on Earth. Among the most compelling aspects of the fossil record are transitional forms, organisms that exhibit traits characteristic of both ancestral and descendant groups. These fossils reveal the gradual modifications that underpin evolutionary transitions, showing how complex structures and functions evolved over time. For instance, fossils of species that lived between fish and early amphibians display intermediate features such as limb-like fins, which mark the shift from aquatic to terrestrial life. Similarly, fossils bridging reptiles and birds possess a mix of scales and feathers, Shedding light on the origin of flight, transitional forms help to demystify the process of evolution by demonstrating that changes do not occur abruptly, but rather through a series of small, successive adaptations. These discoveries reinforce the concept of common descent and illustrate the continuity of life's evolutionary journey. The methods used to uncover and study fossils have evolved significantly, enhancing our understanding of evolutionary history. Techniques such as radiometric dating allow scientists to determine the age of fossils with remarkable precision, situating them within a chronological framework that aligns with evolutionary theory. Advanced imaging technologies reveal fine details of fossilized anatomy, including soft tissues under rare circumstances, providing insights into the biology and behavior of extinct organisms. Furthermore, comparative analysis of fossils alongside living species enriches our comprehension of morphological changes through time. This integrated approach confirms that the fossil record, while incomplete, robustly supports the concept of gradual evolutionary change and provides a wealth of information about the origins and adaptations of life. The continuity observed in the fossil record also sheds light on the origin of life itself, tracing the transformation from simple, single-celled organisms to complex, multicellular beings. Early fossils of microscopic life forms, such as stromatolites, created by ancient microbial mats, mark the beginning of biological activity on Earth. Over billions of years, these simple life forms gave rise to more complex organisms, a progression documented through increasingly sophisticated fossil evidence. Each fossilized species represents a chapter in the unfolding story of life, revealing how environmental changes and genetic innovations have driven the diversification of life's forms. This deep-time perspective emphasizes the dynamic and interconnected nature of life on our planet. As we explore the fossil record and uncover more transitional forms, the narrative of evolution becomes clearer, inviting us to reflect on the intricate processes that have shaped the living world. These ancient remnants not only confirm the reality of evolutionary change, but also inspire a sense of wonder about the resilience and creativity of life through time. Each fossil is a testament to the enduring journey of life, recorded in stone and waiting to be interpreted. With this foundation, we can turn our attention to the molecular underpinnings of evolution, exploring how genetic information itself preserves the story of life's origins and transformations. At the heart of every living organism lies a remarkable molecule, deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, which serves as the blueprint for life itself. This intricate molecule encodes the genetic instructions that guide development, function, and reproduction. While fossils provide snapshots of life's history etched in stone, DNA offers a more intimate record, written in the language of nucleotides. By comparing the sequences of DNA among different species, scientists have uncovered profound connections that illuminate the shared ancestry of all living things. These molecular comparisons reveal patterns of similarity and divergence that often mirror the relationships suggested by the fossil record and anatomical studies. The more closely related two species are, the more alike their DNA sequences tend to be. reflecting the time since they last shared a common ancestor. This molecular approach has revolutionized our understanding of evolution, allowing us to peer into the very code that has been passed down through countless generations. Molecular evidence extends beyond DNA to include proteins and other molecules that perform essential functions within cells. By examining the structures and sequences of these molecules, researchers gain additional layers of insight into evolutionary relationships. For example, the genetic code itself is nearly universal, a profound testament to the common origin of life on Earth. This universality suggests that all organisms, from the simplest bacteria to the most complex mammals, share a fundamental biochemical heritage. Moreover, molecular clocks, tools that estimate the timing of evolutionary events based on mutation rates, provide a temporal dimension to these relationships. They allow us to estimate when species diverged, filling in gaps where the fossil record may be incomplete. Through this molecular lens, the tree of life becomes a dynamic, ever-refining map, connecting organisms in a vast network shaped by billions of years of change. The study of DNA sequences has also deepened our understanding of the origin of life itself. By analyzing the genomes of the simplest living organisms, scientists explore hypotheses about the earliest forms of life and the processes that led to their emergence. The discovery of shared genetic elements across diverse life forms hints at a common ancestor, often referred to as the last universal common ancestor, or LUCA. This ancient entity, long extinct yet still present in our genetic heritage, marks the point where life's lineage converged before branching into the myriad forms we see today. Such investigations bridge molecular biology with evolutionary theory, showing how life began as simple molecular systems that gradually acquired complexity through mutation, selection, and cooperation. These findings invite us to contemplate not only where we come from, but also the delicate molecular dance that sustains life in all its forms. As molecular techniques continue to advance, they open new windows into evolutionary history, revealing unexpected relationships and refining established ones. Whole genome sequencing, for instance, allows scientists to compare vast stretches of genetic material, uncovering subtle patterns invisible to earlier methods. This comprehensive perspective sometimes challenges previous classifications, prompting a more nuanced appreciation of evolutionary pathways. Furthermore, molecular evidence sheds light on processes such as horizontal gene transfer, where genes move between species, enriching genetic diversity and complicating the evolutionary narrative. Through these discoveries, the story of evolution is continuously updated, enriched by the molecular signatures that life carries within itself. The integration of molecular data with traditional paleontological and anatomical evidence creates a more complete and vibrant picture of evolution. It reminds us that beneath the vast diversity of life lies a common thread woven through genetic material, connecting all organisms in a shared history. This molecular perspective not only confirms long-held theories, but also transforms the narrative of evolution into a living, evolving science. As we continue to decode the language of DNA, we move closer to understanding the profound mystery of life's origins and transformations. With this molecular insight, we can now shift our focus toward exploring how these genetic changes translate into the diverse forms and functions that populate the natural world. Evolution is often understood as a biological process, a dance of genes and natural selection unfolding over eons. Yet this concept extends far beyond the realm of genetics and species adaptation. Human evolution is not solely a story of physical change, but also one of cultural and technological transformation. From the earliest use of simple stone tools to the complex societies we inhabit today, our species has continuously evolved through the accumulation and transmission of knowledge, behaviors, and innovations. This cultural evolution operates on a different timescale than biological evolution, often occurring rapidly and allowing humans to adapt to new environments and challenges without waiting for genetic changes. It highlights the unique capacity of our minds to learn, share, and build upon the experiences of previous generations, creating a cumulative legacy that shapes our collective future. The development of language, art, and social structures marks significant milestones in cultural evolution, each representing an expansion of human potential and understanding. Language, for instance, not only facilitates communication, but also enables the transmission of abstract ideas and complex knowledge across generations. This ability to share information has accelerated the pace of cultural change, allowing societies to innovate and adapt more swiftly than through biological evolution alone. Technology, as an extension of culture, exemplifies this dynamic interplay. From the mastery of fire to the digital revolution, technological advancements have continuously reshaped human life, influencing everything from survival strategies to social organization. These innovations, while rooted in biological capabilities, transcend genetic inheritance by existing within the shared human environment, passed along and refined through teaching and imitation. In this way, culture and technology represent evolutionary forces that complement and interact with our biological heritage. Understanding evolution through this broader lens allows us to connect the distant past with the present moment in a profound way. Just as genetic mutations and natural selection have sculpted the forms of life on Earth, the ideas and inventions of humanity have continually transformed our experience and environment. This ongoing process underscores the adaptability and creativity of our species, reminding us that evolution is not a static endpoint, but a continuous unfolding. Each cultural breakthrough, from the agricultural revolution to the rise of the internet, reflects a step in an evolutionary journey that integrates biological foundations with the complexities of human thought and society. As we reflect on this interconnectedness, we begin to see how the story of life is enriched by the layers of meaning and innovation that humans bring to the natural world. The interplay between cultural evolution and technology also raises intriguing questions about the future trajectory of human development. Unlike the slow, random mutations of biological evolution, cultural and technological changes can be intentional and directed, guided by human values, creativity, and foresight. This capacity to shape our own evolution introduces new dimensions to the concept, where we are not merely subjects of natural selection, but active participants in our own transformation. As we develop artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and new forms of communication, we engage in a form of evolution that blends the biological with the synthetic, the inherited with the invented. Such reflections invite us to consider the responsibilities and possibilities that come with this unprecedented power to influence the course of life itself. One of the most enduring misconceptions about evolution is the idea that it is a purposeful or goal-oriented process. In reality, evolution does not strive toward perfection or a predetermined endpoint. Instead, it is an ongoing natural phenomenon driven by variation, inheritance, and differential survival. Genetic mutations, which occur randomly, introduce new traits, some of which may offer advantages in specific environments. Over many generations, these advantageous traits can become more common within a population. This process, known as natural selection, is not guided by any conscious force, but emerges from the interactions between organisms and their surroundings. Understanding this clarifies that evolution is less about progress in a linear sense and more about adaptation to changing conditions. Recognizing this helps dispel the misconception that evolution implies improvement toward an ideal form, reinforcing the scientific foundation upon which evolutionary theory rests. Another frequent misunderstanding relates to the origin of life and the idea that evolution explains how life itself began. While evolution describes how living organisms diversify and change over time, it does not directly address the initial emergence of life from non-living matter. The origin of life, or abiogenesis, is a separate field of study that explores how simple chemical compounds may have assembled into self-replicating molecules, eventually giving rise to the first primitive organisms. Once life began, evolutionary mechanisms took over, shaping the vast diversity of species we observe today. This distinction is essential to appreciate, as conflating the origin of life with the theory of evolution can lead to confusion about what each scientific discipline seeks to explain. By understanding the boundaries and connections between these fields, we build a clearer picture of life's complex history. A common belief is that individuals evolve during their lifetimes, reflecting a misunderstanding of how evolutionary change operates. Evolution occurs over many generations within populations, not within single organisms. Changes in gene frequencies accumulate gradually as organisms with beneficial traits reproduce more successfully than others. This population-level process spans thousands or millions of years, far beyond the lifespan of any individual. Importantly, traits acquired during an individual's life, like muscle strength or learned skills, are not passed genetically to offspring. This distinction underscores the nature of hereditary change and corrects the misconception that personal effort or experience can directly alter the genetic code passed to future generations. Embracing this perspective strengthens our trust in the empirical basis of evolutionary biology and highlights the intricate timescales on which life evolves. It is often thought that evolution is synonymous with survival of the fittest in a purely competitive sense, fostering a view of nature as a ruthless struggle. While competition is one aspect of natural selection, cooperation and symbiosis are equally vital forces in the evolutionary story. Many species have evolved mutualistic relationships where different organisms benefit from each other's presence. For example, certain plants and pollinators depend on one another for survival, illustrating how collaboration can be as influential as competition. Evolutionary success, therefore, is not solely about dominance, but also about the ability to adapt to complex ecological networks. Acknowledging the multifaceted nature of evolutionary interactions enriches our understanding of the natural world and the delicate balance that sustains it. Finally, there is a misconception that evolution conflicts with certain cultural or religious beliefs, leading some to view it as inherently controversial. However, science and personal belief systems can coexist peacefully when each respects the other's domains. Evolutionary theory, grounded in evidence and observation, seeks to explain the natural processes that have shaped life on Earth. It does not attempt to address questions of meaning or purpose, which often reside within philosophy or spirituality. By clarifying this distinction, we can foster a more harmonious dialogue between scientific understanding and cultural perspectives. Such clarity invites us to appreciate the wonders of life's diversity while maintaining respect for the variety of human worldviews. Evolution is not merely a concept confined to ancient history or the distant past. It is a dynamic process that continues to influence life on Earth today. In the realm of medicine, evolutionary principles guide our understanding of how organisms, including harmful bacteria and viruses, adapt to their environments. This is particularly evident in the phenomenon of antibiotic resistance, where bacteria evolve mechanisms to survive exposure to medications designed to eliminate them. Such adaptations occur through natural selection, as bacteria with mutations that confer resistance survive and reproduce more successfully than those without. This ongoing evolutionary arms race challenges scientists and healthcare professionals to develop new treatments and strategies, underscoring the practical and immediate relevance of evolutionary theory in protecting human health. The insights gained from studying evolution thus become vital tools in managing disease and anticipating future medical challenges. Beyond antibiotic resistance, evolution sheds light on the genetic underpinnings of many diseases, helping researchers identify how certain traits or vulnerabilities have been shaped over millennia. For example, some genetic conditions persist in populations because they once offered survival advantages in particular environments, a concept known as balanced polymorphism. Understanding these evolutionary backgrounds allows scientists to trace the origins of diseases and develop more effective interventions tailored to individual genetic profiles. Additionally, the study of evolutionary biology informs vaccine development by revealing how pathogens change and diversify enabling medical science to predict potential mutations and prepare accordingly. This proactive approach exemplifies how evolution, far from being an abstract theory, operates as a practical framework that enhances our capacity to respond to health threats. Through this lens, the ongoing evolution of life remains a central consideration in modern medicine and public health policy. Evolutionary principles also extend into broader scientific fields, influencing how we understand biodiversity, ecology, and even the development of new technologies. By recognizing patterns of adaptation and survival, scientists can better grasp how ecosystems function and respond to changes such as climate shifts or human impact. This knowledge informs conservation efforts, ensuring that we protect the delicate balance of life that has been woven over billions of years. Furthermore, evolutionary algorithms inspire advancements in computer science and engineering, where processes modeled on natural selection optimize problem-solving and innovation. These practical applications highlight evolution's role not only as a cornerstone of biological science, but as a guiding principle across disciplines. Such integration of evolutionary thought enriches our comprehension of the natural world and our place within it. And ter and there is not surely bun. In reflecting on evolution's profound influence on medicine and science, it becomes clear that this natural process is deeply intertwined with our daily lives and well-being. The continuous adaptations observed in microorganisms remind us that life is ever-changing, requiring vigilance and adaptability from both nature and humanity. As we deepen our understanding of evolution, we gain tools to anticipate challenges and innovate solutions that promote health and sustainability. This ongoing dialogue between science and the living world encourages a perspective grounded in observation, evidence, and respect for the complexity of life's history. With this in mind, we can turn our attention to the fascinating origins of life itself, exploring how the earliest forms of existence began this extraordinary journey of change and diversification. In the realm of scientific inquiry, the quest to unravel the mysteries surrounding the origin of life continues to inspire researchers across the globe. Recent advancements in molecular biology and chemistry have opened new pathways for exploring how simple molecules might have combined and organized themselves into the first living systems. Laboratories now simulate early Earth conditions, recreating environments with volcanic activity, mineral-rich waters, and varying temperatures to understand the chemical reactions that could have sparked life. These experiments, while complex and delicate, provide invaluable insights into the potential sequences of events that led from inert matter to self-replicating molecules. What makes this field especially captivating is the interdisciplinary nature of the work, where biology, chemistry, geology, and even astronomy converge. By examining ancient rocks and meteorites, scientists gather clues about the building blocks available on early Earth and beyond, suggesting that the seeds of life might be more widespread in the universe than previously imagined. This expanding horizon fuels a profound curiosity about our place in the cosmos and the universal principles that govern living systems. Beyond the origin of life, evolutionary biology continues to evolve itself thanks to cutting-edge technologies that allow us to peer deeper into the genetic fabric of organisms. Techniques such as CRISPR gene editing and high-throughput DNA sequencing have revolutionized our capacity to study evolutionary mechanisms in real time. These tools enable scientists to observe how genetic variations arise, spread, or diminish within populations, providing a dynamic view of adaptation and natural selection. Moreover, advanced computational models simulate evolutionary processes over millions of years, helping to reconstruct the complex tree of life with increasing precision. Such research not only enriches our understanding of biodiversity, but also informs conservation strategies as we recognize the delicate balances that sustain ecosystems. The ongoing exploration of evolutionary pathways reminds us that life is a continuous narrative shaped by countless interactions and environmental pressures, constantly unfolding before our eyes. A particularly exciting frontier lies in the study of extremophiles, organisms that thrive in environments once thought inhospitable to life. From deep-sea hydrothermal vents to acidic hot springs, these resilient lifeforms challenge our assumptions about the limits of biology and offer glimpses into the kinds of conditions that may have nurtured early life on Earth. Researchers study these organisms to understand the biochemical adaptations that enable survival under extreme conditions, insights that may shed light on the early stages of evolution and the potential for life on other planets. Such discoveries invite us to broaden our perspective, appreciating the diversity and tenacity of life in forms that defy conventional expectations. This expanding knowledge base propels astrobiology and the search for extraterrestrial life, linking evolutionary studies with cosmic exploration. Looking toward the future, interdisciplinary collaborations promise to deepen our grasp of life's origins and evolutionary dynamics. Integrating data from paleontology, molecular genetics, and environmental science allows for increasingly holistic models that capture the complexity of living systems and their histories. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are becoming powerful allies in analyzing vast data sets, identifying patterns, and generating hypotheses that might otherwise remain hidden. These innovations nurture a scientific environment rich with possibility, where curiosity and creativity drive discovery. As we continue to peel back layers of evolutionary history, we not only expand our scientific knowledge, but also cultivate a profound respect for the intricate processes that sustain life on our planet. Embracing the challenges and opportunities ahead, the study of evolution and the origin of life remains a vibrant and evolving field. Encouraged by new findings and ever-refined methodologies, researchers persist in their pursuit of understanding how life began, diversified, and adapted through time. This ongoing journey invites each of us to appreciate the delicate threads connecting all living things, inspiring wonder and humility in the face of nature's vast complexity. With this spirit of exploration, we can now venture further into the mechanisms of evolution itself, examining the intricate processes that guide the transformation of life across generations. At its core, evolution is the grand narrative that weaves together the tapestry of life on Earth. It is not merely a concept confined to textbooks or laboratories, but a dynamic and ongoing process that underpins the diversity and complexity we observe in the natural world. From the smallest microorganisms to the largest mammals, every living organism is a product of countless generations, shaped by the subtle interplay of genetic variation, environmental pressures, and chance events. This continuous process of change and adaptation allows life to flourish in an ever-changing world, demonstrating a remarkable resilience and creativity. Evolution, therefore, serves as a lens through which we can understand the shared heritage of all species, revealing the deep connections that unite seemingly disparate forms of life. It is through this unifying principle that biology gains coherence and meaning, offering a framework that explains not only how organisms have changed, but why they exist in their present forms. The origin of life itself is intimately linked to evolutionary theory, providing the foundation for the emergence of complexity from simplicity. While the precise details of how life began billions of years ago remain a subject of active investigation, the scientific consensus embraces a gradual process where simple molecules organized into increasingly complex structures capable of replication and metabolism. These early steps set the stage for natural selection to act, favoring traits that enhance survival and reproduction. Over immense spans of time, this process gave rise to the vast array of life forms that have inhabited our planet. The study of molecular biology, genetics, and paleontology continually enriches our understanding, unveiling clues about the earliest life and the pathways through which it diversified. Together, these disciplines paint a picture of life as a continuous thread, stretching back to the dawn of existence and evolving through countless adaptations to new challenges and environments. In recognizing this continuity, we deepen our appreciation of the intricate mechanisms that sustain life and drive its transformation. Evolution also highlights the interconnectedness of all living beings, emphasizing that no species exists in isolation. Each organism is part of a vast web of ecological relationships, shaped by shared ancestry and ongoing interactions with other life forms and their environments. This perspective fosters a holistic understanding of biology, where the diversity of life is seen as the outcome of complex evolutionary histories intertwined with the Earth's changing conditions. It underscores the importance of biodiversity, not just as a catalogue of species, but as a dynamic system that supports ecosystems and the processes vital for life itself. Through this lens, evolution becomes more than a scientific theory. It emerges as a profound narrative that connects humans to the natural world, reminding us of our place within the broader story of life. Such insight encourages a sense of stewardship and respect for the delicate balances that sustain our planet's rich biological heritage. As we contemplate evolution's role in unifying biology, it becomes clear that this principle extends beyond the study of individual species to encompass the nature of life itself. It provides a framework for exploring how genetic information is transmitted and modified, how organisms adapt to their environments, and how complex traits emerge over time. By integrating evidence from fossils, genetics, developmental biology, and ecology, evolutionary theory offers a comprehensive explanation for the diversity we observe. This synthesis not only deepens our scientific understanding, but also inspires philosophical reflection on the origins and interconnectedness of life. Through this lens, evolution invites us to see ourselves as participants in an ongoing process of change, linked to all living things through shared history and common ancestry. This perspective enriches our appreciation of the natural world and guides future inquiries into the mysteries of life. Ultimately, evolution stands as a cornerstone of biological science, a unifying principle that bridges the past, present, and future of life on Earth. It connects diverse fields of study, from the molecular to the ecological, providing a coherent narrative that explains how life has transformed over billions of years. This grand framework allows scientists to make sense of complex biological phenomena, guiding research and discovery across disciplines. Moreover, it offers a profound insight into the shared origins of all organisms, emphasizing that life is a continuous and evolving story. As we continue to explore the mechanisms and patterns of evolution, we remain ever mindful of the intricate relationships that bind all living beings, inspiring both scientific curiosity and the deep sense of wonder. With this understanding, we prepare to delve further into the specific processes and forces that drive evolutionary change, continuing our exploration of life's remarkable journey. As we reflect on the vast tapestry of life woven through evolutionary time, it becomes clear that humanity occupies a unique yet deeply connected place within this intricate web. Our species, Homo sapiens, is but one branch on the sprawling tree of life, sharing common ancestors with all living organisms, from the simplest bacteria to the grandest mammals. This perspective invites a humbling appreciation for the continuity that links us to the earliest forms of life that emerged on our planet billions of years ago. The story of evolution is not merely a record of change, but a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the endless creativity of nature. Each organism, including ourselves, is a living expression of this ongoing process, shaped by countless generations of survival and transformation. Understanding our origins through the lens of evolution encourages us to see beyond the boundaries of our own species, fostering a sense of kinship with the diverse forms of life that share this world. It reminds us that we are part of a larger community, flourishing through interdependence and shared history. The origin of life itself remains one of the most profound mysteries science seeks to unravel. From the moment when simple molecules first assembled into self-replicating systems, the journey toward complex life began. Over unimaginable spans of time, these early chemical beginnings gave rise to cells, then multicellular organisms, and eventually the remarkable diversity we observe today. Each step in this evolutionary path was governed by natural processes, mutation, selection, genetic drift that, while indifferent to any purpose, have produced the intricate forms and behaviors adapted to countless environments. This ongoing process highlights the dynamic nature of life, perpetually evolving and responding to the ever-changing world around it. By studying these fundamental origins, scientists deepen our understanding not only of where we come from, but also of the principles that sustain life in all its myriad expressions. Such knowledge inspires a profound respect for the delicate balance and complexity that make life possible on Earth. Beyond the scientific insights, the evolutionary narrative offers a rich source of inspiration for our place in the cosmos. It invites us to contemplate the deep timescales over which life has unfolded and to recognize our role as stewards of this living legacy. The evolutionary story is still being written, with each discovery revealing new connections and raising fresh questions. This ongoing journey of exploration reminds us that knowledge is never complete, but continually expanding, much like the tree of life itself. Our curiosity and willingness to seek understanding forge pathways toward greater harmony with the natural world and more thoughtful consideration of our impact on its future. Embracing this perspective encourages a sense of wonder and responsibility, anchoring us in the present while connecting us to the vast history of life that precedes and surrounds us. Ultimately, the tale of evolution is a story of unity amidst diversity, a reminder that all living things share a common heritage. This awareness can cultivate empathy and respect across species, nurturing a more inclusive vision of life on Earth. As we contemplate our evolutionary roots, we are invited to reflect on the values that guide our actions toward one another and the environment. Recognizing our participation in this grand, unfolding process fosters a sense of belonging and purpose, encouraging us to protect the fragile ecosystems that sustain us. Through this lens, science becomes not just a tool for understanding, but a pathway to wisdom, connecting the past to the future in an unbroken chain of life. In this way, evolution continues to illuminate our journey, inspiring us to cherish and preserve the wondrous diversity that defines our shared home. As we close this reflection on evolution and the origin of life, let us carry forward a quiet reverence for the remarkable story that has brought us here. The intricate dance of molecules, genes, and environments that gave rise to life is a source of endless fascination and profound meaning. By embracing our place within the evolutionary saga, we open ourselves to a deeper connection with the living world and a renewed commitment to its stewardship. This understanding enriches our perspective, inviting us to participate thoughtfully in the continuing evolution of life on Earth. May this knowledge inspire a gentle curiosity and a lasting appreciation for the shared journey we all undertake, together, across the vast expanse of time. And so, with a calm heart and an open mind, we move forward, ever learning, ever evolving, within the magnificent story of life.